two, three, go!
When something breaks in your company's operation, a shipment delay, a vendor issue, a compliance problem, who fixes it? Because in most companies, the answer is still the founder, the business owner. And that's exactly the problem. Hi, I'm Evie, and welcome to the Sagan Live. Today, we're doing the high five segment of our show with 5 questions, 7 minutes more or less. And by the end, you'll know how this person thinks better than after most interviews. Today, we have Paul, an operations and supply chain manager from Ecuador with over 25 years of experience leading global logistics, procurement, and compliance operations. Hi, Paul. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Evie. Good to see you, and I'm ready.
Yeah, good to meet you too. To you as well. How are you doing today?
Yes, I'm doing quite good. Thank you so very much for asking.
Yeah, fantastic. Are you ready for my 5 questions?
Yes, ready.
Okay, let's start with the most obvious one. Paul, what do you actually do? I'm not asking about your job title, but what do you actually do for companies?
Well, actually, I am looking for new business opportunities in a company called Promance right now, even though I have done many things for companies in the procurement, logistics, operations. But anyway, right now I'm looking for business opportunities.
Yeah, fantastic. Tell us about an operations process that you improved or rebuilt from scratch. What was broken? What did you change? And what results did the company see?
Okay, thank you so very much for the question. And in a company that I work for, we had a lot of information, a lot of emails from the technicians, from the sales department, and from operations departments. So we had a lot of information, a crowded email, an overloaded email. So I tried to understand why did it happen, and why the email is the only tool that they used to use. In that regard, I started changing some kind of format, the order requests and ticket field services to make it more friendly and easy to be filled out. And it changes many things. After that, I tried to improve the process, the documented processes. I try to make it easy and well documented, so and reachable for everyone within the company, within the process. And after that, I set up the normal controls for every department. And so it helped us, everybody, to be involved within the documentation and accomplishing with all the requirements of the general manager and, of course, the operations manager.
Yeah. Now let's talk about vendor pressure. Let's say a client supplier suddenly raises their prices by 15% mid contract. What is your approach to that conversation?
Yeah, it is a tough scenario. Nobody wants to happen, but suddenly it could ever happen in some kind of companies, especially in companies that works with raw materials. And for instance, we can say that works with Cooper. It is subjected to international prices. For example, in oil and gas industries, with the current situation that what we are seeing in the Middle East, the prices suddenly raises 20, 30, 40%. So it's understandable in that specific scenario. So what would I do? Of course, I will try to have an internal meeting with procurement, with legal department, and of course with general manager, everybody to be involved to see if, first of all, the contract allows it to happen. In most of the cases, it does. So in that regard, we will take the opportunity. How can we have the most of it in the middle of this hard situation? So when we have a strategy, we will try to reach our customers in order for them to explain how the situation is going, as we cannot assume that 50% increase. We have to transfer it to the client, as far as I understand that they will also try to transfer to the final customer. So as I said before, we will have to take the most of it, and maybe that 15% was negotiable, and we lower it down to 14 or 15%, and we try to trespass it to our customer in order for the impact to be the less of the lower possible.
Yeah, I mean, that question is really timely as well in today's use. So for the founders and business owners watching, has a vendor ever surprised you with a price increase like that? We would like to know. Drop a yes or no in the chat if you are tuning in live from our platforms in LinkedIn or in X. Then drop a comment below. Okay, Paul, my next question is, what tool do you rely on most in operations, and what's something you do with it that most operators don't?
Okay, first of all, we have to understand what tools or programs or software do we have available to work for, that we have available for. And it could be any one of the software that we can rely on. But anyway, what we need to focus is in have a mentality, a keeping record mentality every single day, every time that we have a transaction, a request or dispatch, we must have a keeping record mentality. So it could be Excel, for example, or any software, any ERP. But Excel could be a powerful tool if we have the ability to manage in a really professional way, in professional manner. So if you register the date, the amount, the place, the delivery time, the shipping guide already signed, so you have records all the time. So it helps us to have a better understanding of the whole process. We can extract and make important reports for the general managers or the taking decisions person so they can be really informed every time, every day, maybe online if possible. But of course, keeping record mentality would be my main focus.
Now, a company goes from $5 million to $15 million revenue in 2 years. What's the first operational system that usually breaks, and how do you fix it?
Yeah, it could be many things that could happen within that process or within that increase. Um, I was thinking about that the increase in the first year was 100%, and for the next year was 50%. So the trend would be by the third year it will be 25% increase. So the main focus is that uh, planning is the key factor in here. What is going to happen with the planning? Maybe there is not a very good communication with sales department, with procurement, with dispatch. So planning is the key factor. So by the third year, we have to plan with logistics, with the warehouse men, with procurement, in order for them to have enough resources and enough equipment, so we may be ready for that increase in sales.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, Paul, thank you so much for joining us today in this live and for answering our 5 rapid questions. It was great having you.
Thank you so very much, Evie. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Have a good one. Well, there you have it, folks. 5 questions. And now you know how Paul thinks and not just what's on his resume, but how he approaches real operational problems. If you're a founder watching and thinking your company needs someone who can manage suppliers, logistics, compliance, and operational systems, then send us a DM on LinkedIn or an X or comment consultation, and we'll set you up with a quick free call. And if you're ever interested in Paul, his rate is at 1,500 per month, and he is ready to start interviewing with your team this week. Remember, there's no cost, there's no commitment. Interviews are completely free. So just send us a DM. That is all for today. Thanks for tuning in. This is Evie, and this has been the Sagan Live. See you next time.